Hi, I'm George Levy and I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the Blockchain event. And today I have the opportunity to speak with Joseph Holbrook, Enterprise Blockchain Architect and author.
Exactly, yes.
I'm so excited to talk to you.
George, yes.
You are a
Appreciate
speaker.
your time.
You're a speaker at the event, and actually when I heard that you were actually going to speak at this event, you don't live in Fort Lauderdale. You actually came here.
Exactly.
And so when I heard that you were a speaker, I was very excited to come over here. Furthermore, I'm very excited because you just published Architecting Enterprise Blockchain Solutions on Wiley.
Yep.
What a great accomplishment.
Thank you.
In the full transparency, I'm actually a little starstruck because I got to write the foreword of the book. I actually read this book, and when I saw it, I really wanted to be part of it. What a great piece of work. This is like an encyclopedia in Enterprise Blockchain Solutions.
Thank you.
And I mean that if anybody wants to know about it, and now you're going to see why. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I'm an educator. I deal a lot with blockchain, different blockchain configurations. But when people think about blockchain, many times they think about Bitcoin, they think about Ethereum. Those are decentralized networks.
Yes.
When you're dealing in enterprise solutions, often you're dealing in cloud. Tell me more about that.
Absolutely. So cloud and blockchain really go together really well. And what I mean is a lot of organizations, they need to have a couple things. They need to meet requirements around privacy, around security, around basically agility, being able to scale up, scale down. And the cloud provides that really well. Because one of the areas that companies are challenged with as well is definitely with the availability of CapEx funds. And so being able to use a cloud service to do a proof of concept is literally going to cost not even a few $100s if it's fairly efficient. And that's a big deal compared to going out and spending thousands on equipment to do it.
No, absolutely. You know, one of the things that I was very excited about you publishing this book is that I actually, as an educator, I actually know that you teach as well. You're actually on Pearson. You do?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're actually a very well-known character, but a lot of your background is in cloud.
Yes.
And then you expanded into blockchain. Tell me more about that migration and what you've seen in the process.
Exactly. I was working in cloud for quite a while. Matter of fact, probably about 8 years, 10 years, I didn't count, probably 2008, so probably a little bit more than that actually. And one of the things that I got into was I had a client who was talking about deploying a blockchain on AWS, and basically asked about it, said, can you do it? And took a quick look, and I said, sure, I could do that, no worries. Like deploying Hyperledger is really easy to do, really easy to set up and organize, and it was available, ready in less than probably 40 minutes. So.
Yeah, one of the great things about this conversation, you're a certified blockchain professional.
Yes.
And what's interesting about the angle in you is that you are a doer. A lot of people talk the game, but you actually execute. You're the kind of person that you get your hands dirty, you roll up your sleeves, and you get things done. When you're building these enterprise architectures, tell me more about the challenges you experience in that.
Yes, and there's definitely challenges around deploying any kind of architecture. With blockchains, a lot of it comes down to basically development. And you really need to have a development background with Hyperledger because of the fact, and not just Hyperledger, but Ethereum and other blockchains. And the reason is because it's all open source.
Sure.
So you don't really have that enterprise support. You don't have vendors like Solaris, Sun, for example, Oracle, HP, whatever vendors supporting the platform. So it's all open source. You have to do a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of work figuring things out.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is that when you're dealing with such a sensitive thing as building an application on blockchain, you can't afford to make too many mistakes. So when you're testing, and the fact that you actually have this background and experience to put into it, that's a huge value add.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to know about you specifically, I actually read an article talking about IBM, because you mentioned AWS, but let's talk about IBM Cloud.
Sure.
So IBM as a business has taken a big bet into the blockchain space. In fact, many of the case studies that we talk about in the Blockchain Institute of Technology use IBM-based solutions. But what's beautiful about it in this article was talking about the synergy between blockchain and cloud, and how blockchain is actually driving the cloud business. Tell me more.
Absolutely. One of the factors that is driving the cloud business for IBM is because of the fact that IBM has some really robust services. And those services meet all the basically services such as infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and also infrastructure as a service. And you have that flexibility as a customer to do basically a little bit of work or all the work. It's really up to you. And with the IBM blockchain as a service, you could deploy basically your nodes automatically, or you could go ahead and configure them yourself, or just do it all by hand, whatever you want to do. So there's a lot of flexibility there. So because they have such a good service, folks looking at blockchains such as Hyperledger going to IBM immediately because it's all done for them. They've got an a la carte menu, basically.
Yeah, and I have to give you credit. A lot of the things you're talking about, you cover in your book.
Yes, hands-on. Yep.
Yeah, and I really, truly want to thank you, because it was a lot of work to write this thing, and it's a very valuable resource for anybody who wants to. I definitely am going to use this as a resource to a lot. Correct. I think one thing I would say for the audience that may be interested in taking advantage of all the expertise you have, how can people find out more about you?
Sure, absolutely. You go over to myblockchainexperts.org or .net, and you could also find me on a new podcast called Techie Jacks as well.
Nice, Techie Jacks. Good name, good name. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Joseph, I wish you the very best and much success.
Yes, thank you, George.
All the best in your speaking session tomorrow.
Exactly, thank you.
I'm George Levy. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something in the process. I bring you brand new videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm George Levy. We're changing the world, one blockchain at a time. See you next time.